Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video. And well, this is a video I was talking about like a few videos ago. A video that is not necessarily music related, but I want to get like one question out there which has been like floating around in my mind for a bit. And this is not going to be a long one, but I just want to go get this question out because I've been hearing about like a thing a lot which is called cultural appropriation, which for my understanding, and I'm not like an expert in terms of social studies, I'm not as expert in terms of cultural studies and stuff, and don't get me started on like the whole gender thing because I don't like follow this whole discussion because I'm more about logic and not about, well, everybody wants to be his own special snowflake, or this is correct, this is not correct, or political correctness or something like that, because to me it's like, if I meet you, if you're a nice person, we got along well. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole no matter what gender, color, race, sexual preferences, outlook on life you have. Doesn't matter to me, either cool or not cool. This is my the way I work and stuff. And now I've been hearing a lot about this cultural appropriation thing, which to my understanding does mean the following. If a brand or a person which is maybe white, as an example, because this is the whole thing that happens the most, I guess. If a white person or a white brand or whatever exploits things that are related to another culture, another race, whatever, this is called, and exploits it for profit or for, well, being cool is maybe profit as well. So this is called cultural appropriation, and this is definitely deemed as not okay all over the place. And I guess I've heard about some white, I don't know, actress maybe or singer who was rocking a specific hairstyle, well, like braids and stuff, which was inspired by another actress back in the past, and the other actress was inspired by a picture of an actual slave from like way back. And the most recent actress who rocked this hairstyle wasn't aware that braids originally were like a black hairstyle, a hairstyle of black slaves actually. So or like that black slaves invented this, and she got a lot of hate for not knowing this and for rocking this hairstyle. And I guess like a big brand like H&M has been rocking like styles in terms of like clothing patterns and stuff, and t-shirt patterns which were more like related to the original African culture, like the, you know, traditional African dresses and stuff, or to Indian pattern mixes that are found in Indian clothing. And they've been getting hate for that too. And this is just to give a rough outline of what cultural appropriation means. And I know that before this discussion, like someone like Tim Westwood, who has been like a legend in the UK rap game, has been getting hate for like sounding as a white guy, as a white guy at the age of 60, I guess, for sounding too black, because he's around a lot of like hip hop artists from the UK and US, and he's down with them, he hangs out with them a lot, and so they're like black vocabulary or their ghetto slang vocabulary slips in to his to how he talks. And he was getting hate of this before the whole political correctness and like cultural appropriation thing was a thing on the internet, way before that. So the thing I was thinking about recently was I do realize that I am influenced, well, by music, of course, by a lot of electronic music. And when it comes to music with lyrics, it's mostly grime, I guess, a little bit of reggae, and also hip hop. And I get my knowledge, I've been making a video back in the day about how I learned to talk English properly and stuff. And this had to do a lot with music, with hanging out with artists as well. So I found myself like picking up bits and pieces from people from New York, from Boston, from the UK, from other countries which were English speaking and or like were not English speaking but coming from foreign countries, and people don't speak German, so actually our language of communication was English, and I was getting influences from all over the place. So if I speak to someone from the UK, I might sound different as in comparison to how I speak to someone who is from like maybe New York or from like Los Angeles or whatever. So I try to adapt. Not I try, but I automatically adapt to whom I'm speaking to, kind of. And recently I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube, like interviews from guys like DJ Vlad, who was like interviewing a lot of like predominantly black hip hop artists from the United States, and like Chucky Online, which is more from the UK, which is like holding a podcast like conversation with his friend Poet, and various artists from the UK urban scene, mostly black, mostly of kind of Jamaican heritage and related to the grime scene, and they have a specific lingo. And I listen to the like Tonga Balloon Gang podcast a lot, like Mike Skinner of the Streets, and like Dave from Rockage, I guess. Mr. Skinner has like a more Manchester kind of accent, and I don't know where Tonga Dave is coming from, but actually I presume he is like Jamaican English mix somewhere. So what I realized in that is that a lot of words, also from guys like Big Nasty, which I also watch a lot, like Uncle Payne, and also his like Fire in the Boost sessions with Charlie Sloth and stuff were great. And a lot of lingo that is coming from all these influences, like from the UK Jamaican side, from the grime urban side, like from Manchester, and also from the mostly hood gangster stuff that is coming up in DJ Vlad's interviews, is slipping into my lingo, into my English speaking as well. So when I think about someone who is like a total waste kind of, and someone who I really don't like, I think of him automatically, because of these influences, as Wasteman. I caught myself when I said things like, you know, that one is there, which is like a phrase I got from Big Nasty, which is who is actually Jamaican. And from the grime scene, I get things like, well, them and them, which is like my friends and stuff, and I don't use them very much, but I feel they are becoming part of my language and of my vocabulary, and I might use them a lot in the future the more I hear them. And also, well, things like next man, or like for Yardy maybe is also a word I get from that, and a lot of phrases which are like non-Oxford standard English or British are slipping into my lingo. And I am wondering if this is because it's not me talking like that because I try to be black, or I try to be cool or whatever, or like try to be talking like someone from the ghetto, but well, this is my broad range of influences that are reflected in how I speak and how I talk, and also usually things like big thing maybe for things which are impressing me, or like which are really like hot tunes or whatever. And so could this be reflecting on me, that I'm the guy guilty of something like cultural appropriation? Do you see it like that, or is it more like, okay, that guy is from Germany, is getting influences from all over the world through the internet and through like face-to-face interaction maybe, and that's why he's talking like that, and that's why he's picking up things from a lot of different aspects? So this is my question. Is me talking like someone from London, Jamaica, whatever, guilty of cultural appropriation or not. Yes, I want to have a discussion on that, and I hope I could make my point clear, because I feel I've been babbling quite a lot, and I don't know if you could follow me and could follow the path I was going. But I try to map out where I get these phrases from and why I use them or might use them in the in everyday life, not necessarily on YouTube, because there I guess my language is pretty clear. Not really, but I guess you know what I mean. I hope. Anyway, stop babbling. This is my question. Cultural appropriation, is it like someone adapting things, or is it like more on a evil level that someone is especially picking things from a different culture and like exploiting them for a specific reason, which is, in terms of language, maybe the reason of coming across as the most cool guy or a cooler guy around or whatever. So answer me this question, leave me a thumbs up if you could follow me. If you weren't able to follow me, just leave that question you have in the comments down below, and I will get back to that. And I just want to have a conversation, and was thinking about branching out a little bit from the music related theme I was having on this channel for a month, and which will be my main theme, and I will not go into like social discussions or whatever, but this was just a question I had. So yeah, leave me your comments, leave me a like, leave me a thumbs up, leave me your answers, and if you have a reply to that, do a reply video. It would be great to see one. And now I'm out. Try to edit this in a way to make that makes sense actually. And I'm gonna see you in the next one, which will be more music related again. So talk to you soon.